Now we will be in this video discussing about intramedullary cord compression. So again, when we are talking of intramedullary, the lesion is inside the substance of the spinal cord. What are these lesions that can be presenting inside the substance of spinal cord? The prototype lesion can be syringomyelia and other tumors like astrocytoma, hemangioblastomas, metastasis. The common, basically they are tumors, can be AV malformation. Common are there the tumors, and the syringomyelia is a prototype condition. What is happening here is the lesion is inside the spinal cord and it is expanding. It is compressing the cord from within out. It is expanding like this. So with the same anatomical knowledge, we can decipher how intramedullary cord compression can present. You can see here that the spinothalamic tract fiber arrangement, cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, inside out, corticospinal tract again inside out, cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral. Okay, so now when the lesion is compressing from within out, what kind of pain it will be when the spinothalamic tract is compressed? So usually it is a vague, ill-defined pain, very ill-defined. So that will be a very vague, ill-defined, non-localizing type of pain which is known as funicular pain. The first thing, the patient will be having a pain, that is a funicular pain from the sensory tract, spinothalamic tract. Second, we take a look here. As you know, the spinothalamic sensations are touch, pain, temperature sensations. The spinothalamic tract is crossing like this at the same level or 1-2 level, segment level up or down, but at the level of spinal cord, it is crossing in front of the central canal and is traversing up on the contralateral side. Same for this side also, the spinothalamic tract is crossing in front of the central canal and in the contralateral side going up. So here comes the trick. When there is a lesion expanding like this, the first fibers to be impaired are the spinothalamic sensations. The spinothalamic tract fibers will be first impaired. So, and what will be the type of sensory loss? As you see the distribution, the sensory loss is from the cervical, thoracic, lumbar. It will go like this. So, there will be a sensory loss somewhere above in the cervical level or thoracic level when it starts. So that's why it is sometimes known as hanging anesthesia. Hanging anesthesia. It hangs on the torso. It hangs somewhere on the torso like this. This is the area usually missed on clinical examination. We should go for the cotton touch pain sensations here because it is hangs on the torso because of the anatomical distribution. So hanging anesthesia. And secondly, when you look, as it is going on compressing cervical, then thoracic, then lumbar, it will be a descending anesthesia. Descending, as the lesion progresses, the anesthesia descends. To start with somewhere on the above part of the torso, limbs, it descends. Cervical, thoracic, likewise. And sacral sensations are usually spared because it's the last. It is usually spared. Lot of time is taken. So descending anesthesia, hanging anesthesia with the key word sacral sparing. So sacral sparing, descending or hanging anesthesia. Another important feature of this type of sensory loss is also known as dissociate sensory loss. dissociate sensory loss. So what is this dissociate sensory loss? As you see, the spinothalamic sensations are gone, but the posterior column or dorsal column sensations are intact. So in the area of anesthesia, if we go for proprioception tests like vibration, it is intact. So dissociate anesthesia is involvement of the spinothalamic sensation with sparing of the dorsal column sensations are known as dissociate anesthesia. This is another key point to be remembered in intramedullary cord compression. So 4 keywords: hanging, descending anesthesia, sacral sparing, dissociate sensory loss. This is one. Then comes the overwhelming lower motor neuron signs. As we discussed extramedullary, it was compressing the spinal cord and causing upper motor neuron signs. Here lower motor neuron signs are overwhelming because here are the anterior horn cells, motor horn cells. The lesion will now impair the anterior horn cells, and they will be, say for example, in syringomyelia you can get wasting of the hand muscles. So lower motor signs are more predominant in intramedullary cord compression. Next, last is bladder. Bladder is involved early. Bladder is involved early in intramedullary cord compression. And because of spinothalamic sensory loss, atrophy, lower motor neuron signs with sensory loss, we can get trophic changes. Trophic changes in the limbs more. So bladder early, trophic changes are more, and this is the overall summary of a intramedullary cord compression.